Daktari Jerry Orimba, Kenya Primary Schools Heads Association, the heartbeat of Kenya.
Zawadi Studios.
Uongozi bora wa kushabikiwa, utumizi murua wa rasilimali, uelekezi mwema wa wanagenzi, daima dawamu kesha ndiyo taa. Uongozi bora wa kushabikiwa, utumizi murua wa rasilimali, uelekezi mwema wa wanagenzi, daima dawamu kesha ndiyo taa. Ongoza wakufunzi zimenolewa, maarifa ndani yao imeimarishwa, hatua kwa hatua ufanisi wamepata.
The blessing of the Migori CEO, His Excellency Honorable Ochilo Ayako. Therefore, we want to officially start the function because we are behind schedule. My name is Ongera Sirwell. I'll be the master of ceremony today, tomorrow, and the day after. So we want to start off, and I request that all delegates be upstanding. We officially start the function. Delegates wote nitawaomba sasa tusimame. Tunataka kuanza mkutano wetu huu, the Kepsha Nyanza Regional AGM and Conference here in Migori County, County number 44, headed by His Excellency Governor Ochilo Ayako. Tusimame sote kwa wimbo wa taifa. Wa taifa.
There was confirmation of the conference venue. The chairman Migori County took members through the agenda. He indicated that the decision to have a venue is an activity that involves many stakeholders. After the agreement, the engagement, it was agreed that the venue be moved from Sirare KRA grounds to Migori County Stadium, where we are today. We are here procedurally that we continue with our AGM and conference. So colleagues, as we sit, I wish you nice deliberations.
Kennedy Chiefa, Kepsha National Treasurer.
Let me quickly mention one or two because Nyanza people need to know these guys who sit at the executive, do they measure up to the task and are they performing? Number one, Mr. Chairman, you raised a concern about NEMIS vis-a-vis capitation. You were spot on. Excellent. That is where the shoe pinches. Umegonga ndipo. You feel in NEMIS today, let's say 750 students. Tomorrow morning, and this is around capitation time, hapo wakati wa disbursement, hapo wanajua kutime, eh? That morning you find 250 only. The question arises, watoto 500 walienda wapi? Mwiba uko hapo. But then again, without being too rhetoric, because Mr. Barongo knows that a few days ago, the national chair, myself, and himself, the director primary, were with our new PS in his office and he received us. Na tulimwambia vile ninaongea hapa. I'm one of those who spoke. And we talked about NEMIS and how NEMIS disappears. Because something is eating NEMIS somewhere in Jogoo. Na akacheka kidogo akatuuliza, give us a suggestion. I am the one who gave a suggestion ile Eli ametaja hapa. Na hiyo Eli uliniibia jana usiku tu. Wewe ni sharp, you are a very sharp student. Nikamwambia, Bwana PS, use the NEC portal to disburse grade 3, 4 up to grade 9 because it is up to date. Because disbursement is all about numbers. There's nothing else we need there. You only need to know the exact numbers in grade 3, 4, 5 up to 9 in every school. Na NEC uwezi ukawaibia mtoto hata mmoja. They have the exact number. Sasa grade 1 na 2 wacha tupambane na hiyo, lakini muondoe pia hiyo birth certificate. So Chairman, I think if we live here with that one achieved only in 2025, KEPSHA will have achieved. Nimesema ama sijasema? Thank you. Having said that, let me say this. JS, it is no longer, Mr. Chairman, the issue is no longer about domicile. That battle is already won. We have domiciled in primary where we are, and government is happy with us. And the only thing I am sure they are doing is thinking seriously of how many more grades to give the heads of junior and primary schools. And Bwana Chair, when they are doing this, let them get only one grade, C5. Let C5 move to D1 for starters. When C5 moves to D1 who are the minority, Akina Cheva, Akina Eli, automatically will move to D2. Alafu inasonga namna hiyo. Lakini C5 are so many. And when we meet in Mombasa during the ADC, tafadhali Nyanza, come in your numbers. We are coming there to push C5 to D1. Hiyo tu, tupate hiyo tu. Hiyo ingine D2, D3 tutajua tukisonga 2026. Then JS teachers. We had an issue with JS teachers. These young men, our sons and daughters, were becoming unmanageable, all this. Colleagues, nataka munisikize vizuri. If we lose the war, acha niongee pole pole. If we lose the war of JS teachers, tukiacha waponyoke, tutafufua hii kidonda. Manake tushashinda. JS belongs to us. Tukianza kusema they are unmanageable, tutaambiwa you are the ones who are not measuring up to the task. So let me share 2 points you are going to employ to win them over. Please win them over. Let them become your favorites. Try this. I've tried it with success. Number 1, embrace them over. And this is how you can do it. You need to earn their respect. And to earn their respect, unajua wanasema we are academic dwarfs. Tujasoma, P1, nini. Fanya hivi. These guys tushajua weaknesses zao. There are some subjects they can't master. They have no idea about. They know even no iota of performing arts. Hawajui chochote about music. Nothing. Art and craft, 0. Agriculture.
Migori County. Delegates, are you here? By a show of hands, are you here? Thank you so much. Then I go to the farthest Siaya. Are Siaya delegates here? Siaya say hey. Haya. Homa Bay. They call themselves endless potential. I don't know what it means. And they have a potential that will never end. Homa Bay! Homa Bay. All right. Thank you so much. Let me climb the hill. When a chief guest, even in Nyanza, we have the hill. Nyamira. Wonderful. Kisii.
Makofi.
Na UKJ, the United States of Kisumu. Aya. Is there any county that I have not mentioned? Chief guest, allow me to introduce the people that organized this conference. We have the Nyanza Governing Council, comprising of all the chairmen from the 52 sub-counties, the regional office, and the top 4 from all the counties. Kindly rise up. Rise up and wave.
Please help me in welcoming through a hand clap. Please, let's appreciate Dr. Geno Robert Ombiri. Mpe muziki wake kidogo daktari huyu.
It stands there, you will see Talent Based Center. That's where I am the administrator. We do such program on smart schools, where our point of interest, the first contact with every person that comes to us is through a profile, not grades. We are moving from grades and going towards that. For instance, it has been instrumental in defining and nurturing exceptional talents in Africa by working with schools, institutions. So what are these smart schools? You may be looking smart, as I can see and I appreciate, but smart schools goes beyond that. Smart school is an institution that uses integrated technology. You may be having some computers, laptops, to be precise, and maybe some office equipment to help you manage the schools. But that one doesn't bring us to our smart schools. So what are smart schools? Smart schools are educational institutions that integrate technology, sustainability, and talent-based learning to create an adaptive, skill-driven, and student-centered environment. They go beyond traditional methods of incorporating digital learning tools, project-based approaches, and personal learning career pathways. Like in our situation, we basically use project-based approaches. While after identifying the talent of a child, using the anthropometric machine, for lack of a better word, sometimes in our program we do guesswork. But with us, we do a scientific approved method. That one that you can identify the talent of a child and now brings what is called the talent-based learning. For too long, our education system have relied heavily on grades and exams performance. However, a paradigm shift towards education system is very essential. One that emphasizes the development of skills, creativity, and real-world application, allowing every student to nurture their unique talents in areas such as science, technology, the arts, and leadership, including the entrepreneurship. So let's talk about the pillars of smart schools for sustainable development. These are the engine of smart schools. Technological integration. When a smart school uses the AI, that is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a science whereby people create machines or computers that can think and act like human beings. They more of use human intelligence. People are misusing.
Sufuri. Go and master one of these areas. Unajua sisi ni watu wa, mimi nilikuwa Mosoriot. Nakumbuka Bwana Roche. We were experts in music. We know all the key signatures and all the time signatures. We can transpose music. What are you trying to tell me?
Na mimi nyinyi waalimu ya kuwa many of our parents they are not understanding CBC. Uliza jirani yako kama wake wanaelewa CBC. Na ndiposa nimekuletea hii posta ili ukiweza kuwapelekea hiyo shule itaweza kuwasaidia waweze kujua CBC ni nini, so that unaweza tafuta mwalimu mmoja anakuja anasimama mbele ya hao walimu wako anawafundisha ili waweze kuunderstand
of the competency-based curriculum. Now, I want to start with the statement of your chair that grade 9 transition presents us with a litmus test. I think that was the most important statement of the day as far as I'm concerned, because what I'm about to say here is Sauti? Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I was using a microphone, so I need to shout. Is that better? Good. So I think I want to start with the statement of your chair that grade 9 transition is going to present us with a litmus test. And that is what I am here to talk about. What is it that we will expect when grade 9 is going to grade 10? I want to start by saying that we know what is in junior school. So allow me not to dwell in what is in junior school. Allow me not to talk about the rationalization of the subjects and the fact that we are having a broad curriculum at junior school. However, allow me to say that the focus of junior school was on exploration. Junior school is a moment of exploration where the learners are exposed to as many subjects as is possible so that they are able to make a decision about their career ahead of them. And in between lies the pathways of senior school, and that is why junior school had so many subjects put together so that the learners are able to focus on exploration. Now, when we go to senior school, we are focusing on pre-career. The learners are choosing pathways that will allow them to choose careers and to specialize. So pathway is about specialization, and that is one thing I want you to keep holding as we are going through this conversation. Senior school is about specialization. Junior school was about exploration. Now, the senior school level expects a student to be in the school for 3 years. 3 years with an age bracket of about 15 to 18. And that marks the end of basic education.
Few steps that we will need to follow after that. Now, very fast, I'm going to define this thing we are calling the gap. What is this gap? So, in very few words, the gap is a divergence between well-crafted national strategies and their practical implementation. So when Josephine and our director craft strategies, craft policies at their level, we are supposed to implement this in our classrooms, in our schools. So we are saying the gap we are talking about is we have the understanding of those who are crafting the process, the strategies, and our understanding at the school level. So how do we bridge that gap? Now, why do we have this gap? Some of the salient issues here is the disconnect between policy language and the daily practice. Sometimes you look at the documents that we have that define policy and strategies and what we do in our institutions, the language there in a tradition. So there is that disconnect between the policy language and practice. Then the other cause is the inconsistent communication channels. How do we communicate seamlessly between the policymakers and the policy implementers? So sometimes there is that inconsistent communication. So we need to streamline these communication channels so that there is effective communication. Then there is the issue of insufficient local adaptation. As we said, strategy or policy assumes that we are going to have excellence when we are implementing. But that is not true because there are so many other issues that influence the environment where we act. So this insufficient local adaptation, because you have to adapt the thinking of the policy to where we are, can also bring issues. And then, as we all know, and this is true to all organizations, there is the issue of resource constraints and the varying capacities at the school. All these affect how we interpret or the movement from policy formulation to policy implementation. And therefore, these are what we are saying are the root causes for that gap that we are talking about. So the impact of these root causes, where we operate, that is at the school level, is that we have lost opportunities for enhanced student learning. Because basically, schools operate so that we impact on our students and in the right way. So when we have these issues, these intervening problems or challenges, there is a lost opportunity to ensure that student learning is done in the right way. And there is also the reduced teacher morale. And because policy is about change, we also have a challenge with effective change management. So we will need to look at how to overcome this. And that is where you come in as a school leadership. That is where you come. And I said, as a leader, you are a person whose job is to influence. And once you influence, you also take responsibility. So the school, the leadership basically are change agents. So you are the frontline implementers who translate abstract policies into meaningful actions. So what this means is that a leader in the school, irrespective of what others say, you have to understand the policy.
And we had the following partners. We had the Kenya Commercial Bank, Moran Publishers, Veda, Med Familia Publishers, One Planet Publishers, Target Publishers, and then we had the opportunity to hear from our regional chairman. The regional chairman was not happy about the way or the manner in which school capitation was being done. He was skeptical about the disbursement being done with no clear guide. NEMIS was yet another thorn in the flesh, which was giving heads of the institution a lot of headache. He gave instances where uploaded data would disappear overnight. And even as we speak, colleagues, you are seeing what we are being sent in our phones about NEMIS, and we are wondering what is happening. So Mr. Chairman talked a lot about NEMIS yesterday. Moreover, the Honorable Regional Chairman confirmed that the entire capitation as envisaged was not dispersed. He admonished the Teacher Service Commission to promote heads of institution a grade higher, especially from grade C5 to D1, and those in grade D1 to D2, since heads of institution has immense responsibility of manning up to 4 levels in our education. Later we had the Maridat motors. Then we had the first topic of the day, transition from junior school to senior school, the role of the head teacher, and this was done ably by Madam Evelyn Walker, Director of Quality Assurance and Standards, Ministry of Education. While taking us through, she talks about STEM and the social sciences.
I'll share with us a profile later. Madam Nancy Okoth, Gender and Psychosocial Support Specialist. Please welcome and give us details on the first aspect, mental wellness for effective leadership.
To tell us is that a head teacher exists with a life at school and also at home. So it really means, as I'm going to speak, I'll also speak about issues at home and issues in school. Every day I tell people, somebody will always tell you that leave your issues at the gate before you come. And I always tell people at times it is not very possible. If you leave a sick child at home, your child is still sick, even if you are seated here. If you came here when you are broke, you don't have money, you still do not have money when you are here. So you can never leave your issues back at home. If you had an issue with your spouse, you have an issue with your spouse. So there is no way we are going to tell people that leave your issues back at home when you come here to school. I hope I am right. So basically, I want us just to define what is mental wellness. Most of the time we speak about mental health. We speak about health. When we talk about health, health is just the well-being of a person psychologically, physically, socially, and not merely the absence of disease. And then we talk about mental health, it is also about your well-being of the psychological well-being. But again, about mental wellness, it is about when a person is able to realize their abilities to cope. It really means you could be having a mental issue, but what is your ability to cope?
Let's say it is okay to not be okay. In front of you is me. I'm a certified therapist. I'm also a career counselor. Yesterday we were taught about career pathways, and we have been hearing everybody is talking about pathways and pathway assessment tests. Have we heard about it? NEC is going to present this to our students, but do we know what it is? Can we do a small demo?
It's not abnormal when one has been impregnated at a lower level, yet she continues with her studies. We were really encouraged, madam. Thank you so much. And she has said that she gives school to
Karibu. Thank you. Karibu for the chairman.
Secretary, other officials, board members, please simama na chairman hapo. Our members, where are the board members? Wapi makofi kwa chairman wetu mstahili. Our officials wasimame kando hapo for that photo. Asante sana Moran. Thank you so much Moran Publishers, read by James. Asante sana.
Let us clap for him as he comes. The newly elected National Vice Chairman, a man from the soil, the man I took over from as the regional chairman, kindly greet your people.
Thank you so much, Brother Eli, the regional chairman Nyanza. I want to ride on all protocols observed, and I want to appreciate this particular forum, that Nyanza, you are great people. The calmness that I'm observing around is unique and can only be found in Nyanza. Yesterday we were here and we got the greetings from none other than the national chairman Capture, Brother Fuad Ali. And as the national spokesman, he went through taking us what is it that national office is doing for our sake as heads, because this is an association that brings us together and observes on areas that we may have one or two challenges. So I may not be labor to go back to what Capture is doing, but I want to take a ride from my brother and say I am very grateful as a man from this particular region. 2 years down the line, I stood in Kisii when we were having our AGM. And that is where it was a kind of a farewell to say bye when I was going to Nairobi to join the National Executive Board. I remember painfully, last year in Siaya, we were with our brother, the late national chairman, Brother Nzioka. And in Siaya, he presented me and said that you gave me this young man, but I want to come back next time and present him in a different capacity. That was prophetic. He never lived to see it today, but his spirit lives to witness what is happening in Capture. Capture is a house of order, and after the demise of our brother, we sat down and had our elections. It was not easy, and I namtolea kofia ndugu yangu Eli, namtolea kofia because if it were not for the support of Nyanza and how they stood with me to enable me to go around Kenya asking for support, it was not going to be possible. So Brother Eli, nakutolea kofia ndugu yangu. Thank you for standing with me at the time of need. And hence, I want to say that it is this unity of purpose that will take us to greater heights. And I want to ask that let us embrace Capture jealously. If we are united as one, we are going to stand and we shall make it as a team. Kindly let us embrace team spirit and teamwork. Lastly, I want to invite you, Brother Eli again, has insisted that this is not a small prize, and hence we must sit down at Nyanza and celebrate a Thanksgiving, appreciating that God has done wonders to us. Because maybe in the history of Capture, this is the second occasion that we are coming this far. The first one was Brother Shemdolo, who went up to the apex to become the national chairman. And now Brother Roche is keenly following in the footsteps. And right now I am the deputy chair. So date 11th of May, we are going to have a Thanksgiving ceremony at a small comprehensive school next to my home, Nyamome. All are invited. Kindly come. Let us thank God. Let us dine and wine together so that we see what God has done for us. Thank you, and God bless you. So that was our national vice chair. Sorry, sir, you forgot your specs. Wivu ni adui mkubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa.
Vivu ni adui mkubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa, kwani ndicho kiini hasa kisababisha njaa.
Haya, asante. Ngoja kidogo. Ndio wimbo huu ukichapwa, walimu wanatuambia mambo mengi. Kuna contact muhimu hapa sana, kila mtu anafaa kuwa nayo. 0796. Please delegates, this number is very important. Just write it down. 0796. Keystone, please be stand by here. That is the very last exhibitor. Wengine watakuja baadaye, and then we welcome Nat. 0796 29 44 88. 0796 29 44 88. Chairman, you have this number. God has blessed me with all these tents. I equally have these seats you are sitting on. I equally have this beeline tent and the red carpet. And I have a PA system, and I'm the master of ceremony. When you need such services, don't strain. All over Kenya, I'm available. Keystone, please come. Sirwe Longera is my name, the master of ceremony. Anywhere in Kenya.
I want to thank God so much because our trust is based upon Him. I just want to share briefly about trusting in God. This God who created heaven and earth, Jehovah God, our Almighty. Nothing happens without His knowledge. He is omniscient, He is omnipotent, He is omnipresent. I want just to refer us to trusting God in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. And I will just paraphrase because of time. There we are speaking about trusting in God and only God. The Bible says, as I know that some of you have your Bibles, my Bible is telling me that if we trust, we should put our
from Distinction Education Publishers is a new venture publishers which has come with great force because we have been publishing quality materials. We have been with you for 844, and you know what Distinction has been doing during the 844 system. With the CBC, which we have at the moment, Distinction Education Publishers has managed to publish PP1 up to grade 9 approved materials by KICD.
I work with One Planet Publishing as the National Sales Manager. I have some 3 very important aspects to pass across that will sort out the confusion we have in the market. And number 1 is about what you people were told are set books. They are not set books. But the question is, what are they for junior school?
For the very first time in the Kenyan history and in the history of competency-based curriculum, Longhorn presenting to you a mathematical table that is aligned with competency-based curriculum. There are some gray areas that were realized from NEC that is not being addressed by the other timetable. Like the teachers doing mathematics here, we have the cube roots and the cube roots.
And in this particular event, we also want to congratulate the role of a teacher, especially in our communities as an educator, as a go-to person, especially on matters learning and development. And we want to appreciate the roles that we play in our communities, that we continue to mold and make better leaders for tomorrow.
And one thing about Targeter, it's about quality and the standard of our product. And number 1 about our JSS book and all our books from PP1 to grade 9, it's about they are rationalized as per the current curriculum design.
First in Veda, we deal in stationaries and IT products for schools. And in this partnership, we want to offer printers to all the public schools at discounted prices, and also the examination value pack.
The home people, we want to know what you are doing so that we copy. We have come here to benchmark from each other. Otherwise, karibuni sana, And thank you for being patient. Yesterday it was wow. And I want to say I'm sorry some of us did not receive water. Today it is there in plenty. You can even go for another one. Thank you, Master of Ceremony.
We are approaching retirement. You need to have your dream for retirement right now. How do you want your retirement to be? That one you must dream as we sit here as per now. Have you thought about that? Will you have enough money on your retirement? Things to do when you retire. There are people who mess up on retirement because they don't understand what is required when people retire. And that's why those are some of the things that we have. I might not go through them all, but we are saying invite us into your institutions. Retirement education is a very wide program.
Talk to them in those professions, to talk to them about careers, so that within your school system, you have parents. The parents are of diverse careers. You can ask parents to volunteer and come and speak to children what it takes to be in a certain career so that they are able to understand the implications and the requirements before they get into the career path.
Teachers are uniquely positioned to identify and address challenges faced by learners, schools, and communities. When we not advocate for teachers, whether through policies that ensure fair compensation or remuneration, representation or working conditions, we are directly advocating for better outcomes in education and consequently for the achievement of SDG number 4. Advocacy for the teacher goes beyond the individual teachers. It extends to the learners, leading to improved educational outcomes. Moreover, teachers who enjoy good welfare are more likely to remain in the profession, reducing turnover and ensuring the continuity of quality education.
Having our CPA 2025-2029 this year, and we want to urge the government, that is TSC, to consider moving all teachers from one grade to another and remove job group limits. We also want promotions to be automatic, that is the common cadre, after 3 years, and we are totally against the method used to do promotions for like what was done recently.
When as counties we were picking which county to host the governors or which county to host the governors conference, we have a conference where all counties, it's called the Devolution Conference, are to be picked. And Homa Bay was picked. But one interesting governor from Makueni who had hosted a devolution conference told the other counties that don't worry. You should not worry even when you are picked or when you are not picked. When you pick a place that may not be having the best facilities, I'm not saying Migori does not have the best facilities. It shows that you believe in equality and giving every region a chance. That is a credit you should take. Don't just take this regional conference to counties that are developed. Take them to every county so that each stakeholder county feels that they are part and parcel of the management of primary school teachers. Hiyo ni sawa. Hata mukiamua mnaipeleka wapi, na nyinyi nyote walimu, do not shy away from going to any other county. Endeni hapo. Mukienda hapo, Mungu anaenda hapo. Na pesa inaenda hapo. Na wale wanaishi hapo na wanafunzi wa hapo wanapata baraka. That is what we call equality. So sisi kama watu wa Migori, we are deeply appreciative for you or to you for picking Migori County. And kwa sababu you picked Migori County na mimi niliweka mchango kidogo, nitaambia hao officers wangu nitaongeza 250,000 kwa kiti ya the organizers to be used to fund this activity. Thank you for picking Migori. If you pick it tomorrow, if you pick it the day after tomorrow. Hello? Mumesema walimu soda? Mumesema walimu? Basi nimesikia. Mumesema walimu wapate soda? Sawa sawa. So hata kesho. Hello? Basi hata kesho nimeambiwa kuna walimu wengi hapa. Kesho tutaleta soda na maji. Si kesho tuko zote? Tutaleta soda na maji. Mwalimu Opondi Okahaha, kuja hapa. Hiyo soda nimesema na maji ni lazima ifike. If you want me to be fake or to be a liar to these teachers, na unajua liwaomba waturudishe ofisini, make sure silali mpaka hiyo, na wewe usilale mpaka hiyo soda na maji ifike. Kwa sababu the words of the head of government cannot be words ya uongo. Kwa hivyo hiyo itafika kesho asubuhi, hata leo jioni tunaenda kujipanga ofisini iletwe hapa so that we have it. Thank you very much. Nikimalizia, although I had paid accolade to Mr. Eli Ondiek, nilisikia hapa wakisema jenda. Na hao watu ni watu wazuri. Ukiangalia hiyo program, utaona picha yote ya the officials except one ni kina baba. Unajua ile 30%. Walimu kina mama mko? And when they talk about the officials, kaa tu chini chairman, when they talk about the officials, watu wa TSC and national education, mimi nikiangalia hapa, female heads are few. Female heads, walimu, are they more than the male ones? No. Kina mama wacha ni waulize, are you more than the male ones? What I'm trying to say is not to criticize anybody. I am saying that when ukiona wanasema the officials are few, maybe nafasi ikipatikana, also have the females promoted as heads also. Basically, that is what I'm saying. And the beauty with that, mimi vile najua all the teachers are married, both men and women. Unaweza kuwa mwalimu, then your sweetheart is also the head teacher on either gender. Sio ni sawa sawa. Bado ugali inafika tu kwa meza hapo nyumbani na love inaongezeka. Mimi kazi yangu ni kupromote love, amani na maendeleo. Sawa ama si sawa? Kwa hayo machache na mengi ile nimesema, kama kaunti ya Migori na gavana wa Migori, after appreciating you like that, allow me now to declare that this regional conference and AGM of Kenya Primary Schools Head Teachers Association is officially open. May God bless all of us.
Your Excellency, utasibaki hapo juu kidogo, baki tu juu kidogo. Nipatie wimbo hapo. Chairman, please. Chairman, Mr. Eli. Our Secretary General, please come.
Tell us,
Haya, asante, asante. Thank you. Dansa, simameni kando hapo. Simameni kando hapo kidogo. Your Excellency, taomba tuangalie delegates namna hiyo. We have one event to perform here. Wapi waziri wa health? Waziri wa health wetu. Simama kando huko ya secretary. Hiyo picha ningependa ipatikane. Your Excellency, we dearly appreciate your coming and your support to this very key conference of teachers coming to County 44, Migori County, ambaye anaongozwa na Mheshimiwa Ochilo Ayako. Are we okay? Daktari Ochilo Ayako. Tusalimie tu.